try that.
Alright guys, so today we're going to be opening the AMD Radeon 6900 XT Red Devil Ultimate by Power Color. From my research, it seems that this is one of the best, if not the best, aftermarket version of the 6900 XT you can get. So, I'll go ahead and let you guys see the back here.
And you worked hard to find that.
Yeah, they're pretty impossible to find, but we ended up finding it on sale through Amazon. And they actually have a promotion going on right now. If you get it sold and shipped by Amazon, you get 2 free games with it. 5 days after it ships, they'll send you a code for the 2 free games. So we'll see how that works out.
Tried to get it straight from AMD for the regular price. You tried for weeks, but it didn't work out.
Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, every Thursday at 7 o'clock in the morning, AMD gets shipments of graphics cards. And they'll put you in a queue thing. So if you get lucky enough, you can get one for MSRP, but we tried for 2 weeks and couldn't get one. It would sell out before we even got through the waiting list. Oh, jeez, dude. This thing does not. That is a tight fit. You got it?
Yeah.
Are you sure you got it? You got it. It's not letting go.
Got it.
All right. There we go. Okay. So let's see if it came intact. All right.
Nice
So what do we got here? Yeah, very nice packaging. See what's in here. Quick installation guide. Take a picture of that with your phone for the installation guide. Oh! We're gonna have to edit that out. Installation code or something. I'm not sure what that's for. Sticker. Thing with a thing. And I'm assuming this is the mounting bracket. Here is the big boy. How do I get this thing out of here? How in the world? That thing is so tight in there. Alright, well, what is this? Some screws, some sort of bracket, I'm assuming, for the mounting bracket, some cables for something. Oh, this pops out. We have some mounting brackets here. Not sure how this thing goes. Let's see how big this thing is. If I can get it out. They definitely did a good job on the packaging. Okay, that thing is massive. It's got some sticky stuff on it.
So that's the bracket?
So this is support bracket, that's what it's called. It's not mandatory, but you can put it in there to help support the outermost side of the graphics card so it doesn't like sag down. Alright. Oh my gosh. Here, feel it.
Oh yeah. That's
that thing is massive.
That may be close
man.
to 10 pounds. I don't know.
That is crazy how this thing just the
nuts.
size of it is nuts. Just get it out of here. Take a look at this bad boy. Carefully. This thing's like gold nowadays, man. Look at that. That's some serious cooling power there. All the cooling fins. A nice devil face.
I wonder if that's that lighting that'll change color.
Yeah, so I believe there's an RGB in there that you can customize a color, and all of these fins glow as well with RGB that you can customize the colors. And these guys right here, each one of these lines also lights up with RGB. which I'll show when I put it in. I'll probably we'll probably go through the installation process as well, but I gotta pull my new computer out, unplug the million different things I got plugged in there. We'll put it up on the counter, and then we'll pull out our 1080 Ti and put this bad boy in there. Man, this thing has all these pins. 1, 2, oh 3. Yeah, so it has 24 pins total. So this thing is gonna suck power like crazy. But it should stay pretty darn cool with all these fins. This is all just cooling. Alright, well, let's go ahead and throw this bad boy in then. So we're going to install our 6900 XT Red Devil. But first, the new card has 21 pins here. So we have to have 3 8-pin connections. So we're going to have to add another cable coming from the power supply. And you can see our little hole we had to drill back when we took this apart to redo the thermal paste and stuff. But we're going to have to reroute another one of those cables, and then we're going to swap out one of the cables that plugs in up behind the graphics card, up in there. It's hidden behind the graphics card, but it goes into one of those slots. We're going to replace that cable as well, because we reused the old cable from the old computer because I couldn't find these cables. I ended up finding them in one of the boxes, so we're going to swap those out, and then we'll come around here and show you my nice wiring job on the first computer I've ever built. So we're going to have to pull the power supply out so that I can get a cable in there and then route it through for the extra 8-pin for the graphics card. And then the hard drive is down here, and that's the cable right there. I don't know if I'll pick it up. Then we're going to replace, which is buried behind the pipeline of cables. So we'll see how this goes. Alright guys, so we're going to be removing that good old faithful GTX 1080 Ti here. And then we have to reroute some cables and stuff because the 6900 XT has an extra 8-pin that has to go in here. Because it's a big boy and it needs a lot of power. So hopefully we can remember how this thing comes out. I think that's all I have to remove. And then I push this pin here, and then that releases the graphics card. And then we just pull this guy out. Yep. And there we go. Now we unhook these pins. There. There we go. And we have our good old faithful GTX 1080 Ti here with our hole that we had to drill out. And now we have plenty of room. We're going to be replacing this guy right here, which goes to my hard drive that I have down here. Because we reused the old cable because I couldn't find the new cables that ended up coming in the box with the motherboard. So we're going to be replacing that guy, and then we have to route this guy from the power supply up into here to give us more power for the new 6900 Red Devil XT over here. It's just an update. We ended up swapping out this guy that goes to our hard drive for a straight connection instead of the 90, so it's not jammed up against that thing. And now we just need to feed our new power connector bad boy through, and then we unbolted the power supply, so we have to slide that out so that we can get this guy through and feed him through. And then when we come back, we should be ready to slide the new 6900 XT Red Devil Ultimate graphics card in. Alright guys, so we got our second 8-pin connector through there for our 6900 XT, so we should be golden as far as supplying power for our new graphics card. And then this is the cable that we replaced, which goes back and hooks in back over here. It's kind of hard to see, it's kind of dark in there, but he hooks in there. So now we should be ready and set to throw in our graphics card. Now, the one thing, and I'll update you guys on this, is on the box of the 6900 XT, it says that, or it recommends a 900 watt power supply, and we have, or I have an 850 watt power supply, But I read online that people were running this exact card with a 750 watt power supply, so we shouldn't have any issues, but I'll update you guys if we do. Alright guys, so I just wanted to show the size difference between the GTX 1080 Ti factory blower card and the RX 6900 XT Red Devil Ultimate. As you can see, as far as thickness wise, this one is way thicker as well as longer. This is a big boy because it has all of these heat dispersing fins, these giant fans that are just slamming air on there to keep it cool instead of the old blower setup. So we should get way better temperatures. Hopefully this is going to generate a lot more heat though, so that remains to be seen. Also,
it's going to look nicer.
It's going to look nicer, and this card has 3 8-pin connectors, and the old card has an 8-pin and a 6-pin, so that's something you have to keep in mind. Hopefully you still have some extra cables with your power supply when you're going to throw this thing in here. But yeah, it also has this nice beautiful plate on the top compared to the old card. You just got the mumbo jumbo yippee factor, so it'll look a lot nicer, and we have RGBs on this as well, so that should look good if we can get that connected. Now, it did come with a connector for the RGB, which will go into your let me see what the name of that was. It'll go into your add Gen 2 slot on your motherboard, at least on this motherboard. That's where it goes, and then it just pops in to these little pins. Hopefully you can see them right there. Let me believe that is the correct way to hook it up. It also has on the back 1 HDMI slot and 3 DisplayPort slots for any of you guys that are running multiple monitors, so you know that you have plenty of slots. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna slot this bad boy in. You got to be careful when you're doing this because you have these giant fans on the back side that you don't want to mess up. And hopefully I have enough of these sliders out. I assume it's just a 2-slot card, but we're gonna find out right now how this is gonna go. I think we're good, so we're gonna pop this guy in. Hopefully, can you hold the case so I don't push it off?
You have to push that hard?
Yeah, because that's to pop in.
Okay, go ahead.
Ready? Okay, I think we're in. I think we're in, boys.
So it's not rubbing.
So, that clip is up, which is good. I'm going to put this, or actually, can you slot this in? It's going to go in the hole right here. From my side.
From your side?
Yeah, it's going to go right there.
Okay, alright.
To hold that guy in. So we're definitely going to have to use the support bracket on this guy because he is a big boy and he's heavy.
Is that where you want it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can't move it anywhere.
Okay.
Because it's slotted in up here. It slots in
He's tight.
up there. So we're going to see if we have any sag. Yeah,
yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to need a support bracket. Now, we're trying to figure out exactly where to put this guy. So, there's nothing that really specifies. But the problem is we have these 3 8-pin connectors here that we can't block, which you're blocking right now. And we have fans on the bottom that we don't want this little bracket guy to hit. So we might have to play around with it for a little while, and then we'll be back when we figure this out. Alright guys, so we got the 6900 XT in. Fit very nice and snug. We got the RGB connector plugged in right here. It's very loose on there. I will add that, so that's kind of a bummer that it doesn't slide in nice and tight. And then we have our 24 pins of power for this bad boy. And then our support bracket slid nicely right there. It is kind of a little scary because the bracket extends out over this fan, but it doesn't hit. But that's just something to keep in mind. Also, there's plenty of room in the 5000D airflow, as you can see. There's about 3 millimeters of space between this back plate and the graphics card. But if you're using the 3 extra slots behind this, then you can take this bracket out and then you don't have to worry about that. But overall, I think aesthetically, it looks very nice in this case. It goes with the flow of everything. So now, we're just gonna pretty up our cable management, and then we'll fire it up and see what it looks like. Alright guys, so we have the computer back in his little spot, and we're gonna fire this thing up for the first time ever and see what happens. If something goes wrong, then I guess you will all be witness. Here we go. Okay, I forgot to hit the power supply. I forgot to turn the power supply back on. There we go. You see the light on the motherboard's on down yonder, so that's a good sign. Alright, let's see what happens. Firing up the RX 6900 XT Red Devil Ultimate for the first time ever. Okay. What was that? What was that? Alright guys, so when we started it up, that cable was pulled too tight and it was all the way up against the fan, and the fan was hitting the cable. So hopefully we didn't blow the motor in the fan. We're going to fire it up again and see what happens. We have plenty of room there now, so yeah, let's fire it up again. Let's see. I mean, it looked awesome when I fired it up, and then all heck broke loose, and yeah. So let's see what happens here. Okay, let's see if the fan is spinning. It looks cool, but oh, none of the fans are spinning. Okay. I don't know if that's what we want. I don't know. Why are none of the fans spinning? Did they all blow up? Yeah, not a single one spinning. I know it has some sort of silent RPM mode where if it's not under load, the fans stop. But I believe that only happens if you switch to the dual BIOS to the silent, like you can see. We're on BIOS overclock. But I guess we'll have to look at the computer, turn on the monitors, and see what's going on here. Hopefully we didn't kill this card. Just an update. You can see all the fans are spinning. Even the one that had its catastrophe with that cable. And the LEDs are working. There's LEDs on the front, the top, and there's some on the bottom. You can see the bracket kind of hides them, but the card is working. The reason the fans weren't spinning is because if it's below a certain temperature, the fans turn themselves off. So now we're gonna have to figure out what software we need to mess around with this thing's settings and change the RGB and stuff. Right now I'm running MSI Afterburner, and that's how I got the fans to start spinning, because before I launched that, the fans were just sitting still. But I knew the card was working because the AMD 5950X does not have an internal graphics inside the CPU, so if you don't have an external graphics card or graphics card attached, it won't boot. So alright, we're gonna figure out what software we need for this bad boy and see what the heck we gotta do.